All right. Well, hey, Coaches Out for Change. It is Monday. It is June 6th, our first Monday in the month of June. So welcome to a new month. My name is Dee Corchin, and I am glad you're on tonight for our weekly team time that we do every week to come together in community, to grow, to learn together, and help each of us just, move to our next place. And we know a lot of times, a lot of what we work with is mindset, the way we're looking at things. So we try to make these calls a combination of both mindset and motivation related, as well as detail and process oriented. So tonight's going to be a nice, actually a little combo of both. But I really am excited. I see she just came on. So we're going to do our opening inspiration tonight with one of our newest executive directors, Heather Murdoch from made executive director for the first time in the month of May. So she is going to share with us tonight. Congratulations, Heather. But we'd really love to hear your story. I've kind of been watching you in the back office. Last month you were director, and this month ED, or the month before director and then ED. So share with us about your journey, what's working for you, maybe what you've had to work through to achieve this leadership rank.
Hey, thanks for having me on. So it's not been an easy road all the time. I know some people get there fast, and for me, it's been kind of a gradual getting there. But there's been one thing that hasn't changed, and that's my consistency. I show up every day on social media. Even when I don't feel like it, I get on there and make sure I always put something. That way I'm always in the forefront of everybody's mind, and showing just what Optivia has done for me. And so I just stay consistent. I post regularly. What I've started doing is I used to kind of be shy when it came to talking to other people, like in public. Like if they say, like, what do you do for a living? You just stay at home? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. But now I own up to, no, I'm a health coach. Yes, I stay at home with my kids, but I'm a health coach. And so I've really owned up to that. And then I have had some struggles and some ups and downs. And my mentors have been phenomenal. I've reached out to them if I was stressed or didn't know what to do. They've been awesome in guiding me on what I need to do and letting me know that I'm not alone. Because I did have one client that, excuse me, she just up and left. She said, I'm sorry, you make me feel silly and awkward, which is kind of embarrassing, but she said, you make me feel silly and awkward. I'm leaving you to go to someone else. And so I took that really hard. But they let me know, no, that happens to all of us. You're not alone. And I felt like, what did I do? But my mentors have been amazing to let me know you didn't do anything. That's nothing you, that's not a reflection on you. So working through that has been the biggest growth. And then these training calls and webinars and boot camps, I don't think I've missed a single one. They're amazing. I have notes galore. And so if you don't get on those, I encourage you to get on those, because that's where I really saw my growth. And then I work through the hub as well.
Love that, Heather. Thank you. I mean, so many of the basics, right? Being consistent on social media, living out loud, following the hub, and leaning into your mentorship. But I really loved when you said owning being a health coach. That was one of the fundamental changes I experienced, as well as actually showing up and saying, like, what do you do for a living? Well, instead of saying I stay home, you lead with that. And it changes the posture in your mind. So that, I think, is a really, really good tip. And yeah, out on the client leaving, it's probably happened. Has anybody had a client leave, go to another coach? And I think we always try to look at it objectively, but man, it's like a knife in your heart the first time it happens, right? And that was probably so much more about her than you. So thanks for even having the vulnerability to share that, because somebody else needs to hear it. So thank you. Congratulations. All right, so just a couple things before we jump into our topic tonight. We are getting excited, you guys. We're getting ready and we're prepping everything to lead into convention. There's an opportunity this Wednesday night, a health and hope night, for you to invite people to, your clients, your candidates, your coach candidates. We want to continue to be bringing on new coaches and new clients through this time period. And Optivia did just announce today that any new coach that came on between May 1st and July 15th can attend attend convention virtually for $50, for half price of the virtual price. So our new coaches, we do want them registered and involved. Some people are getting in online or getting in person. So if you, I would recommend trying that first, get on the wait list, and then if not, attending virtually. But either way, to attend. And I shared this with the executive director team today, but we had our global director and above meeting last week, and Nick Johnson, the president of Optavia, shared that corporate does a lot to get ready for conventions, and had said that he had challenged his staff to be their best for convention. And by be their best, he meant arrive at convention in their best shape physically, in their best shape mentally, and their best shape professionally. Because how different will the experience be for us if they show up that way, right? If they're walking the walk, leading the talk. And then Dr. A got on and he spoke to us as the field, and he said, I challenge you to do the same thing, to be, in line with our health, taking those measures so that we show up at convention in our best physical health, our best mental health, and our best professional health. And how different will we be showing up for the world when we do that? So just something to take with you. We've got 45 days till convention. So I don't know, I'm rising up to that challenge. So I hope that you will as well. But tonight we're going to talk about an important topic regarding our compensation. Optavia, one thing they do well is they compensate us well for helping other people. And we all come to coaching for different reasons. But the reality is money is part of it, that it's going to be there. So what you do with it gets to be your choice. So Frank Davis and I, we put our heads together around this call, and Frank had a great title. He said, money isn't everything, but it is something. So we are all entrepreneurs. It's important for us to understand. We're going to do it on a very high level, what our compensation is. And then we're going to have some stories from three very different coaches that came to this for a different reason, and how it's serving their family and other people differently. So that's the beauty of it. So Frank, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dee. Again, my name is Frank Davis, and I'm an independent certified Optavia coach. I partner with my wonderful and beautiful wife, Shauna, who was actually a coach before I was. So most of what I've learned actually comes from Shauna, her coach, Lori, and Dee as well. But we're going to talk about a subject that for a lot of us seems to be the elephant in the room, okay? As entrepreneurs, as business owners, we all know that's part of being a business owner is making money, but it's something that we rarely talk about. So tonight I'm going to be talking a little bit about the compensation plan, and I'm going to share my screen and share a few slides. So hopefully y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. So I see a thumbs up. So this is the disclaimer. As a coach, we're obligated to put up a disclaimer, and I'm not going to read my slides. Hopefully I'm not going to read my slides word for word tonight, but you can read it here. And basically, as a coach, I want you to know that we make no promises and we make no guarantees as to the income I'm going to talk about. And I also want you to know that this program takes work. It is not pie in the sky, and it does take work. Now, again, money is a subject that a lot of people get uncomfortable talking about because we really know our mission is more than money. Our mission is helping people in all areas of their life. Obviously, losing weight, improving their health, reducing their dependency on certain medications, helping them maybe reverse some conditions with food and mindset, emotional eating, stress eating, healthy relationships, the importance of healthy sleep, and on and on and on. That is really our mission. Like Dr. A says, our mission is to get the world healthy. But money is important, right? As a business owner, we all have to have money, and we need money in our life. We need money to pay for our place where we live, for our clothes that we buy, food that we buy, to pay the electric bill, so forth and so on. We even need money to go on vacation. There are no free vacations, right? Money is neither good nor bad. It's really what you do with the money. And business owners need money. If you own a hospital or a church or a school or a flower shop or an antique shop, you need money to keep the lights on, to pay your employees, to repair the carpet, and on and on and on. So money in itself is not bad. Now, as I ask every coach on this call tonight, what is wealth to you? What is money? what is success, everybody would probably give me a different answer. And that's okay. Success and wealth to everybody is something a little bit different. And as coaches, we come on here with our own goals, our own personal goals, and that's okay. Some people just want to make a little money, but we do know that in America today, money is a major source of conflict in relationships, in marriage, in lifestyle. So many people do not have money in savings. They don't have money in their savings account. We know that money's a problem. We also know that most employers have done away with retirement accounts. It's now up to the employee to contribute money to a 401k, an IRA, have the discipline to put money away in savings. And, a lot of times people don't do that, and it's sad when I walk into Walmart and I see a 70 or 80-year-old man and woman standing there as a door greeter. They're not there working as a door greeter in their 70s and 80s because they're bored at home. They're there because they need the money. And that is a sad statement in today's society. But fortunately, with Optavia, we have a solution. So in addition to helping people regain their health and regain their life back, we can help people as coaches create income. And really, as coaches, we get compensated by doing well, by doing good, for helping other people succeed in their health, in their coaching, in a lot of different ways. And the way Optavia compensates us is 3 sources of income. I call it 3 buckets of income. And I'm not going to go into all the different ways of compensation. I really don't have that kind of time tonight. There's a lot of ways that they compensate us. The first bucket is client acquisition and client support. The second bucket is coach acquisition and supporting a coach. And the third bucket is developing and supporting teams of coaches. Within those buckets, there are multiple layers of income. And I'm going to talk about the first bucket just very, very briefly. And that's called client support. As a coach, we have clients and we talk to them, we guide them, we support them, and we want them to succeed. When they place their order, Optavia recognizes that, and that creates a volume. And that volume can be anywhere from 0 up to 6,000, what we call frontline qualifying volume. Now, we don't make any money per se on a wholesale retail or anything like that. As coaches, we pay the same exact price for our fuelings that a client does. But they recognize Optavia that we're putting our time and our effort into that. And what I love about this particular slide is one of the things that separates what we do from multi-level marketing. We are not multi-level marketing. Let me repeat that. We are not multi-level marketing. And I could talk for probably 30 to 45 minutes to an hour about all the reasons we're not multi-level marketing. That's a topic for another night. But I love this slide because if Coach A sponsors Coach B, and Coach B has these clients that generated, let's say, 6,000 in volume there, if they're certified, they're going to get compensated up to 31%, which can be significant. So with 6,000 volume, that amount of clients is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 clients, and that income could look like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And why are we not multi-level marketing with this slide alone? Because Coach A, who's doing nothing but sponsored Coach B, who now is doing the work, Coach B gets all the money. Coach B gets all the income. Coach A, nothing. They're not doing the work. So we are directly rewarded and compensated for the people that are doing the work. Unlike multi-level marketing, where all the money flows to the top. Okay, that's not how we work. Of course, I can go on and on about that. So what's possible? All right, as coaches, certainly you're an independent business owner. You don't have to have clients. You don't have to have more than clients than you think you can handle. But if you had 5 or 6 clients, that income would probably pay for your monthly food. If you bump it up to about 10 clients, that'll pay for your monthly food and maybe a car payment. You bump it up a little bit more, maybe 15, 17, 20 clients, let's say 20 clients, you're looking at, a couple $1,000s a month. It's not a lot of work. Check with your coach that's maybe talking to you about coaching. Find out what that work involves, okay? but really they compensate us very, very well. Now, let's talk about some higher incomes and what's possible. On the left side of the screen there are some average incomes across America. An office manager is making about $3,000 a month. An attorney makes about $7,000 a month. And a general surgeon makes about $17,000 a month. You'll see some other incomes from coaches in Optavia. Again, an integrated executive director, about $5,000 a month. An integrated national director, about $8,000 to $9,000, and then a presidential around $28,000. Now, if you're a big thinker, okay, you say, well, that's not big enough for me. I'm a big thinker. I want to replace full-time income. I want to be debt-free in my life. I want to create a legacy. Let me talk about legacy for a minute. You know, I just mentioned the incomes from an attorney or a physician, for example. All right, if you're a physician or an attorney, and there's probably some on this call, and God forbid something were to happen to your life and you could either no longer perform, you couldn't come into your office, you couldn't show up at the hospital, or let's say you die, what happens to your income? It's gone. It's gone. In most cases, you can't will your office to your wife or your kids. They can't show up unless they're an attorney or a physician too. They can't take over your practice. That office income is gone. However, in this business, as a coach, as a business owner, Optavia allows you to will your coaching business to your spouse, to your children, to your grandchildren. You can create now generational wealth. That's called creating a legacy. And there's a lot of different ways they create that income for us. I mentioned just client support. That's one bucket. Those other buckets I mentioned, those are CAB bonuses. Those are team growth bonuses. Those are leadership bonuses. Those are consistency bonuses. And the bonuses go on and on and on and on. And certainly, I do not have enough time to talk about all those tonight. So you're a big thinker. I mentioned executive director and above. That's about 20, 22 clients. This is a screenshot of a leadership training. And again, let's go back to the disclaimer. I can't promise that you'll make this income, and I cannot guarantee you'll make this income. This program takes work. But if you're an executive director, 20 to 22 clients, somewhere in there, you're making somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a month. If you look on up the structure here, again, a national director, $7,000 to $8,000 a month. These are average monthly incomes. And anytime you talk about average, you know, some people are making less than that. Some people are making more than that. But these are average monthly incomes. So you talk about national director. There are national directors on this call, right here on this call. There are executive directors on this call. There are IND on this call, okay? Let's move up to global directors. Do we know any global directors? Okay, I gotta say it. Shauna and I are global directors. The average monthly income of a global director right here on the screen is $18,000 a month. Let's move up to presidential director. Y'all know Meg. She's on this call probably. I don't see her right here. She's making on average a presidential $28,000 a month. And D, who introduced me, is what we call it IPD, Integrated Presidential Director. The average IPD is making $148,000 a month. Let those figures sink in. Again, I can't guarantee this. Refer to your income disclosure statement and go from there. Now, I do want to wrap up one thing here. Money is not happiness. We all know that. Money will not buy us happiness, okay? And again, money is not why we pursue this business, but we are a business. And this business will give an opportunity for that stay-at-home mom who's struggling, who's crying every single day, living paycheck to make a difference in her life. This money will allow us to give more money to our church, to pay for our college funds so they can start their career and not be in debt. This will allow us to create good in people's lives. It allows moms and dads to come home and be full-time moms and dads. It allows that professional who worked so many years to get through college and say, I'm stuck now. I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be an attorney. I don't want to be a physician, but I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. This gives them an opportunity to get out of that. So there's so much good we can do with income. I hope this helped a little bit. And I'm excited to let you hear from some people that it's really impacted their lives. Dee, thank you for allowing me to share.
Yeah, that was great, Frank. Thank you very much. And yeah, all the disclaimers, disclaimer, disclaimer, but and there's ranges in all of those levels. But really what we wanted to do is show you what's possible. Everybody comes in. My vision was to make $1,000 a month. That was my vision 11 years ago, and just through the blessing of this as that vision changed. So I would love to have three different people share. We're going to start with Mandy Mail. Mandy joined us. Mandy, you have to tell us, I want to say about 1.5 years ago as a coach, and she and her husband have embraced this and redirecting their future. So Mandy, you want to come on?
Yeah. Hello. First of all, thank you for allowing me to share. And Frank, that was awesome. So thank you for that very thorough presentation. So yeah, I stepped into coaching going on 2 years, October of 2020. And thankfully, my coach, Vicky Feldman, knew what was possible for me before I even had a clue as to what was happening. Vicky knew that this could impact my husband and I in a positive way from more of a financial perspective, but she also knew, being in the fitness background, that I was capable of impacting others, towards optimal health. So really a win-win on all fronts, right? But I stepped into coaching more from a business opportunity, and it was really to provide more of a time value with my husband and my family. Just a little backstory. My husband and I are both cancer survivors. I'm a breast cancer survivor. He's a childhood cancer survivor. We met late in life, and we have a special needs dog. So, time is something that we very much value. And I was in a job that, even though I loved my job, it was time consuming and stressful. And I was literally just grinding in that job, and wasn't being able to experience life the way that I am now. So when I jumped into coaching, I set goals for myself within a year. I set a goal that within a year I wanted to step down from that position, and I actually did it in 6 months. So I was really excited that I did that in 6 months, and I'm still in the job, just on a lesser level. So when I stepped into this, it was like, okay, side hustle, health coaching, but I set the goal to make this my thing. And it's a win-win because, we get to help others experience optimal health and well-being. We get to make a living that's pretty darn good if you listen to those numbers. And now my husband and I are creating a life that we have always dreamed of, and a life that we desire. And I'm sure we can all agree that we experience tragedy and loss in our lives and come to the realization that we lose time. And that's one thing we absolutely cannot get back. And it's such a blessing to coach in this community. And I get a little emotional when I talk about it because I've learned so much. I've created so many new friends, and it's literally changed my life. And so for anyone that is a new coach, put the time in, put the work in, and create what you want to create with your business, because you can create whatever you want and it's totally worth it. So thank you for allowing me to share. And yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's like a mic drop moment. Thank you, Mandy. So good. Yeah. Create what you want. Think about it, visualize it, and Optavia is your vehicle to get you there. So thank you. With a different story, our second out of 3 speakers is Vicky Meister. So Vicky, we'd love to have you share.
Great. Well, thanks, Frank and Dee, for inviting me. And I just did a little thing about goals. I just looked up, thank goodness Merriam-Webster still exists, but the definition for goal is the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. And this is the area I struggled with the most. I was great helping people. I was all over that, but a goal. And if you think of it like archery, like I could watch all the trainings, I could take the arrow out of the quiver, I could put it in the bow, I could release it. I was great, but I wasn't aiming at anything. And consequently, I wasn't getting very far with things. So I was stuck. And I kept hearing people say, you've got to write down your goals. And I'm like, and it's an honest feeling. I have been given so much in my life. How can I ask for more? Was really kind of where my head was. And so I'm just happy helping people and offering this program. And that was where I kept going. And people kept saying, no, if you don't write down your goals, you know, you're not going to. And I'm like, that's just scary. That's just hard. Kind of left that. And then somebody else would say, well, do a vision board. And I'm like, oh, a vision board, I can do that. I'm crafty. I like that. And then I'd see their vision boards and it'd be like 4 feet by 3 feet. And there would be no blank space, be covered with words and sentences and pictures and goals and dreams. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. And so one day I just kind of went, you know what? I can do my vision board. So you don't need to know exactly what's on it, but notice there's a lot of clean space there so that I have room to keep adding to it, which I have something I'm adding to it this week. And I want to tell you that creating this vision board, I also have a couple of Bible verses on there and a couple of quotes that are important to me. But there are 2 things on here that have been started, and I want to share them with you because they're very different. And many of you know, last fall, we moved into a new house and there were 2 spaces we didn't have any furniture for, a screen porch and an outdoor patio area. And I'm an outdoor girl, so I would like to be outdoors as much as possible. So I just kind of went on Costco.com, did a little measuring, ordered porch furniture, ordered patio furniture, and then went up to my husband and said, honey, I just ordered all new furniture for the outdoor spaces. And he went, we're kind of spending a lot of money right now. You know, we just moved in. And I went, I paid for it. And he went, what? And we are out there all the time. And every time I sit down in one of those chairs, I'm like, I paid for this. So that's one. And the other one is super dear to my heart. So this one is on here and they're all still works in progress. But this one, for a while, I have wanted to sponsor somebody going into the missionary field. But it was super important to me that I knew the person and had a relationship with the person. And I wasn't seeing anybody like that. And then a friend of mine's daughter made the decision to leave her corporate job, where she was very lucrative, I might add, and go into the missionary world. And her mom called me and said, Casey would really like to come talk to you about what she's doing because she would like to ask for prayer. Casey came over, shared everything with us, what she was doing, and said, it's so important that I have your prayer support, which immediately was given. And then I was able to fill my goal of sponsoring somebody going into missionary work with what I have earned. So my biggest and best advice for you is go into your heart and find the goals. And they can be porch furniture or sponsoring somebody else. Write it down, make a vision board, do whatever it is that works for you, and then keep it in front of you all the time. That is my best advice for your goals.
It was fun, Vicky. Thank you for sharing that, to see that shift in you, right? And I've seen your vision board, and there it was about sponsoring somebody, and then that person appeared in her life. There's never a coincidence. So thank you for sharing that. Impacting others, which is so beautiful. Okay, our last share for the night. Real excited for you guys to hear this final story from Jordan Rosa. So Jordan, you want to come on?
Sure. So when I started coaching, I, like Frank was saying earlier, I just wanted to pay for my food and, realized, I could, make a little extra money. Maybe we can put our kids in sports, do some stuff like that. Cause we were a single income family for a long time. And what I realized is that as I was working hard and earning more money, mindset shifts were taking place. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed in the life book. I went and found it because it blew me away the first time I read it. At the very beginning, when you do all the quizzes about the different areas of health, it says financial health encompasses many key areas, which includes abundance, the feeling that your life is full in terms of resources. And I realized in that moment that that was something that I didn't feel for most of my life. I grew up the oldest of 4, and there was never enough anything. There was never enough time. There was never enough food. There was never enough money. Everything was a competition, and you had to hurry up and get somewhere. And it just, I didn't want my family to be that way. I didn't want my kids to grow up that way. And so what I've learned is that what I've been able to do with coaching and what I've been able to earn through hard work and sacrifice and figuring out how, because my why is so important, right? The money is just the physical representation of the mindset shift. And once you can get that right, then it's just going to flow, because it's like that, you know, you're no longer in control, but you just have those open hands. And so there's a lot of things I could say, because there's been a lot of stuff that I've learned, but that's probably the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this is just, where does your mindset need to shift around lack and abundance and money and all of that. So thanks for letting me share, Dee.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Beautiful way to wrap it up. And, you know, it means something different to everybody, right? And I love how you captured that vision, Jordan, and saw, wow, I could create a totally different future for my family, right? And I also love the words that you said, hard work and sacrifice, because you know what? You know, it's still work at the end of the day, but it's very, very valuable work, impactful work that's making a difference in the lives of others and in your own family. And through these stories, we saw the ripple effect to other people. So just like Frank said, money only amplifies who you are in your heart and soul anyway, right? So I see our chat, it's blown up there, 45 comments. So thank you guys for sharing. I think this was an incredible informational call. Thank you, Frank, for all you did to pull it together. Thank you, Heather, for opening us with your story, and to Mandy, Vicky, and to Jordan for being vulnerable and sharing their stories as well. So we want the best for every coach on this call. We know you come with the desire to serve and help others. And the benefits we get from that, the impact are great, and the financial benefits as well. So it's an honor to partner with you guys. Let's make it a stellar month, helping a lot of people this month. And we'll see you again next week on Team Time. Bye.